go. Hey guys, it's Miss Gossipus again. Let's begin our daily routine for class. Make sure to have your textbook, notebook, and binder. Or if you're using a binder instead of a notebook. Remember to put your name, date, grade, and section, and always to leave a space for your title. Our objective to today is to determine whether the narrator of a story is reliable or unreliable. Our I can statement remains the same. I can understand the author's POV. Remember that POV stands for point of view. If you guys need a little more time for this, you can pause and take down as many notes as you can, or you can always come back to my YouTube channel and watch as many times as necessary. Remember to like. Everyone likes likes. All right, we've read the story. We've checked our understanding. We've done analyzing the text. Now it's time for a little bit of research. Want to learn more about the writer who created the very, very dreadful, nervous, and very murderous narrator in The Telltale Heart? You can use various sources to research answers to the following questions about Edgar Allan Poe's career. Here's a research tip. Just as a narrator can be unreliable, so can a website. Be sure to access the quality of any online sources you use. Personal websites may provide inaccurate information. They may also be biased or unfairly slanted toward one side. The websites of museums, universities, and well-known encyclopedias are more likely to be reliable. So here are the questions that you're going to answer for your research. What was Poe's first published work? What different kinds of writing did Poe do? What are some of Poe's most famous works? And if you want to extend that a little more, locate one of Poe's famous poems. I prefer Annabel Lee. Practice writing it out loud using your voice to convey the mood or feeling of the poem. Then get together with a partner and read your poems to each other. Obviously, that'll be something that we would read in class. So that's your research topic. Now, I wanted to get in a little bit into unreliable narrator because we never actually got into that topic. So we're going to get into the unreliable narrator today a little bit for you guys. So do you always know what is true? Can you always spot what is false? I just got your text 2 hours ago. I don't feel like I want to hang out. Sorry, I'm busy Friday night. No, not really. I'd just rather stay at home and waste time on Facebook. I promise I won't tag you. Yeah, right. So don't believe everything you're told. And you shouldn't believe everything a narrator tells you either. This also applies to writing. An unreliable narrator. What is an unreliable narrator? What the author wants us to actually see. The narrator and what the narrator tells us. Let me tell you this crazy story. We fill in this international gap with our own inferences. Now, an author doesn't exactly equal a narrator either. Remember that, okay? They're not exactly the same two things. Why use an unreliable narrator? It's unconventional, it's fun, sometimes it surprises for the reader, and it helps the reader understand the power of perspective. Here's an example of that. If you guys take your time and actually look at this, you can see, what do you notice about the title and the author? The true story of the Three Little Pigs. Instead of the Three Little Pigs story with the Big Bad Wolf, we're listening or looking at an example of what it would be like if the Big Bad Wolf told his version of the story. So it's a perspective from the Big Bad Wolf of what he believes was the truth. Now, there are types of unreliable narrators. For example, Edgar Allan Poe uses unreliable narrators in several of his short stories. They're liars and they're criminals in most of his stories. For an example, in To Kill a Mockingbird, the child scout, he is an unreliable narrator. Don't believe anything he tells you. Another example of that would be Nick Carraway from The Great Gatsby. He has limited information, but he makes you think that he really knows everything. Holden Caulfield from The Catcher in the Rye as well. Narrator actions aren't consistent with the actions of him. Here's an example of that. Narrator doesn't always come out and tell the reader they are liars. Most of the time you have to analyze and figure out that from the story. How can you tell if the narrator is reliable? Read with the critical eye. To believe or not to believe? That is the question. Compare the narrator's words with his or her behavior. Check new information against facts from earlier in the story and apply what you know about the world. And when you compare, remember, do they match? Does it add up? Trust your own judgment. Compare, check, and apply when you're doing this. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. I include a little creepy music that's kind of deceitful music with it to kind of get you guys into the idea of it. So research a little bit about Edgar Allan Poe. His life story is kind of sad when you really get into it. I've read it so many times, I think I know it by memory now. So that's what your research tip is. That's what you're going to be doing with Edgar Allan Poe. Also, remember that you got to extend a little bit and investigate a couple of his poems. One of my favorites is Annabel Lee, as I said, but you know, there are other ones that you guys might enjoy. He has a whole entire series of different books that you would find interesting, and they're not just all stories, and a lot of poems in there. So I hope you guys really enjoyed reading The Telltale Heart. As I said, one of my personal favorites. I recommend it. Don't forget, he is an unreliable narrator in this story of The Telltale Heart, so don't believe everything he has told you. Really investigate and really get in there and understand what he's trying to tell you. Well, all right, guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed it. I love Edgar Allan Poe, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.